You know who looks really slender every time I see him? And I'm like, how did he lose all that weight? How did he do that? It's Randy Jackson. You saw the title, you already clicked it, you know what it was. Saw him on a commercial recently. He's on the reboot of Name That Tune. You might know him from American Idol. You might know him as a smooth bassist, worked with Kenny G, etc. Cool guy, cool dog. I want to talk to you today about what he did to have his transformation, how he lost weight, some of the stories that he's told through interviews, to see if you can relate to them and break it down for you so you understand how it happened, the magic. He used to weigh about 358 pounds in the early seasons of American Idol, and now he's down to about 220. Quite a transformation. So let's get into it. My name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance, where I build adaptive business leaders through compassionate health coaching. And I like to bring you these celebrity weight loss stories because it really highlights that these celebrities are normal people, and you can get a lot of insights into how they had their transformation, some of the challenges they have with their busy schedules. And I think a lot of my clients can relate to that. A lot of people watching my channel can also see that. So basically what he said in his interview, life and TV and music meant that it wasn't always easy to eat healthfully. After the show, everybody always hangs out and eats and drinks. He explained in an interview with WebMD. And the idea, what I want you to get out of this is see if you can relate to this in your personal life, in your own stories that you tell yourself, how you're living, if you're too busy, anything like that, and then see if you want to make the same changes or if anything's holding you back from that. He said he's tried a lot of different things, diets, look up fast, weight loss medications, you named it, and none of them ever worked for long. But when I wound up in the hospital, I had to face up to why all those methods failed. 2003, he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, which can be a serious health risk. Potential side effects can result in heart disease, blindness, nerve damage, possible amputation if left unchecked. So what he said in a 2008 interview is I realized, or what he said over time, that a lot of things can happen if you don't manage it, which is why I encourage everyone to do some. So he wrote a 2008 self-help book called Body with Soul to help break down the process and help more people understand. And that's kind of, I guess I am like Randy Jackson in a way that I want people to lead a healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams, and not wait until you have some urgent situation happen where you're at these serious risks. I want you to, take charge of those things early on. Other things he said, it's a curse to be saddled with a disease that's life-threatening and that you can't completely get rid of, though you can certainly manage it. But it's certainly a blessing to get that huge wake-up call. After that day in the ER when my doctor burst the bubble that I've been living in, I couldn't lie to myself anymore. So if you relate to that, leave a comment. If you have something that's, you're starting to get ready to make a change, you're not sure what it's going to take, maybe this is your big day to make that change. And what he said next, not to be overly dramatic, but it had really come down to a matter of life and death. I had to figure out what would work for me, and I ultimately did. And that's huge. So things he said on the Today Show has been a long time running, a long time coming. He started out with gastric bypass surgery. So it's like he took like some serious intervention here as recommended by his doctor. And this is what I want to show you real quick what gastric bypass is. Basically, they staple your stomach up and they bypass a lot of it. So it decreases your stomach volume significantly. That could really help out. But the thing is, it doesn't change your health habits. And a lot of people who have these extreme interventions, they still have some of the challenges with their relationship with food that causes them to continue to gain weight, or they'll lose weight and then put it back on because they're still not eating foods that are supporting their health. They just have a smaller stomach. Okay, and so this is what happened to Randy Jackson, Mr. Jackson. He lost 100 pounds, but gained some of it back. And then on the Today Show, he said he lost a ton of weight, started gaining it back, and then went on my own journey to try to discover, how do I keep it off? What do I do? On the Today Show interview, and I also did a recap of Jenna Bush Hager's weight loss. I'll put a link to that in the description and probably above in the cards, however that works. And so what I want to do is I want to break down how he used elements of the guilt-free framework to make the changes that he wanted to see. So it wasn't just relying on medical intervention, and he can take control of his health habits. So guilt-free framework, we build confidence, realistic focus, and accountability with a guilt-free game plan. That's my model for changing your health habits and taking confident ownership of your path to freedom and fitness. So how we use confidence. One thing he said, I grew up in the South. He's from Louisiana, where food and good times were king. And that is something that a lot of my clients will relate to when they say things like, I'm Cuban, I'm Italian, I'm from the South, this is how we ate where I grew up, all this stuff. There's all these things, these stories, identities that we take on that can sometimes keep us from taking ownership of our path to freedom and fitness, making healthier choices. So that's one of the things. So to lose weight, he went through what he calls a food divorce and stopped emotional eating. So you have to build confidence. You have to be clear on how you're identifying now so you can transition out of that and have the identity of someone who is adaptive and leading to healthy, fulfilling life of their dreams. Realistic focus is another thing that's really key. What he said, instead of saying, I will never have another piece of chocolate, because it's not realistic. As soon as you say never, there's a binge coming. And that's his perspective. And that does kind of hold true. And a lot of people say, like, I'm never going to eat sugar again. I'm going to go to the gym every single day. And it's not realistic. And when you do that, you set yourself up for a hard time. Some would even say failure or a new lesson to learn, as I might frame that, just because it's not realistic from the start. So you want to have that. So what he did instead, he didn't give up on all his favorite meals entirely, but he reinvented them with healthier swaps and substitutes. And that's something I'm really big with in my food templates, my food guide templates. Those are linked in the description below, where it's just like, okay, you don't have to cut out all the foods that you like. You just want to add in more foods that you like that are healthy for you. And that will make you feel good, give you more energy, build that confidence up. And another thing he said, I'm very tuned to knowing when I've had enough. The signal to stop eating is going to come from your body, not an empty plate. And that's huge. A lot of people will clear their plate, especially if they have like a big dinner portion, you're out, you're like, I got to finish this whole thing. There's not enough to save kind of thing. Or if you load your plate up and you're at home, you have too much food. You want to get your signals from inside, how you're feeling, your stomach, not necessarily cleaning your plate. There was a clean plate club. A lot of us grew up like you can't have dessert unless you finish all your dinner, all that kind of stuff. Those are things that don't necessarily serve us now. It can affect the realistic focus that we try to build when we're making health habit changes. Another thing he said, he used to exercise about 30 minutes per week, which is a fair start. Recommendation 150 minutes per week. So we need about 2 more hours, but you got to pump that up. Those are rookie numbers. So he started changing his fitness by walking every single day. I can put another video in the description about how walking is one of the most important things you can do for your health. So even just walking for 10 minutes, he said he needed to start with something he could do that was simple. And then after he did that, after he got into a walking habit, 30 to 35 to 45 minutes of walking, he does yoga. And that's another way to make it realistic. You don't have to be crushing it in the gym. A lot of people think you have to like be a hardcore power lifter to make these kinds of changes. No, you just need to walk more, get active more, and follow through with it, stay consistent. And the last part of the guilt-free framework that he used, accountability. He had support from his family, big support. They're always right by his side, cheering him on. He had some jokes about Simon Cowell cheering him on too, and ways they would promote each other's health and get each other to make healthier decisions around American Idol offset kind of things. And what Randy says is a good thing to stay on top of body because health is the biggest wealth we can have in the world. And that's massive. If you resonate with that, give me a thumbs up because that is quite the thing to say, that health is the biggest wealth we can have in the world. A lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, freelancers, people who are hustling all the time, you forget, like, if your health goes, your business sinks. And then the people who are counting on you, they kind of have to find other ways to cope. So you want to make sure you're protecting your health because it is your most valuable asset in your business and your life. Your whole life depends on your health. So if you want to get started today with confidence, realistic focus, and accountability, if you want to coach, check out the link in the description. I do have a free daily health tips for entrepreneurs group on Facebook. Really excited. We have a plank challenge going on this week. We're always bringing fresh recipes, health habits, health tips, different things that you can try. And these stories, of course, are going in there as well. So that is an overview of how Randy Jackson had that amazing transformation. Let me bring that picture up again. Recognizing that your health is your wealth, and that's your biggest asset for yourself, your family, your business, anything you're trying to do. And we can help you build confidence, realistic focus, and accountability to help you reach that. So what do you think? Are you amazed every time you see him on TV? Are you ready to start today? What was your favorite part of the video? Follow up, Hit subscribe if you want more content and check out my other videos. As always, keep practicing. Peace.